Yeah, there's a lot.
I've decked over a couple trailers.
One flag. One flag.
Yeah, but another long version. Oh, and I saw the size planks. But again, size is
I noticed your vinyl side slowed down.
Is it a
Your J channel like I did. It doesn't do it. You run your top. How wide you put it down. Slowed down. So then you pull that in there. And this one come out square. That's how I do it. That way, I think you do it. You run your
Makes it
top.
tighter.
Yeah, it makes it tighter.
Yeah. Oh, no, I wouldn't be 45.
Then you pull that end down. And then you know this one come out square.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, I've got 5 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. Today, Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Roll call, we have Selectman Howdy Goodwin, Eric Eaton, and I've got 5 o'clock. I'll call myself Jamie Thurlow, Town Clerk Sarah Abbott, and Town Manager Jesse Dunlap. Howdy Goodwin. Adoption of agenda. Is there anything anyone would like to change on the agenda? Town Clerk Sarah Abbott. And all right, we have 2 public hearings. First public hearing we have is titled A Seal Cove Auto Museum Liquor License. Public hearing. And first public hearing we have is titled A Seal Cove Auto Museum. The Seal Cove Auto Museum. I'll open the public hearing at 5:03. All right, would you like to speak about it? Sure. Okay. 5:03.
Who's been to the museum
Would you
before?
like to speak about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's been to the speakeasy before? Who's been to the museum before? We haven't had one in a few years. Who's been to the speakeasy? It's the COVID, Rain Bench, who's ran it before. She started it back in the, she started it back in later than that. But, they did it for like 6 or 7 years, and then COVID basically, they shut it down. 6 or 7 years before COVID stopped there. And it's a fun party. We have the Shane Ellis Band is playing swing music, and we'll have dancing. And this year's theme is brass clubs, or 20s kind of theme in general. This year is a silver screen speakeasy, like old Hollywood. You'll come in the door there, and after giving the password at the door, and you'll hear the music when you come in, and there'll be a red carpet. You walk in, you'll get a champagne toast, and get your picture taken with one of the antique cars, and then go down the red carpet to the dancing and the music, and there'll be beer and wine, and we want to have a specialty cocktail, that has a spirit in it. Not open bars, just a specialty cocktail. That's the first one for the liquor license part. And then, have fun. There'll be snacks, hors d'oeuvres. And then if you go over to the garage museum, over there, we're turning that into, it'll be a little casino playing blackjack. So there'll be like 3 blackjack tables in there. You'll buy chips at the front counter. You go in there and you play with those. If you lose them all to the house often wins, then it's a donation to the museum. If you win, you can take your chips, use it to buy merchandise in the museum. So it's and that is gambling element to it for the second agenda item. And everyone seemed to have a good time. Like I said, unfortunately, I got shut down during COVID. And since I started 2 years ago, everyone's like, "Is the speakeasy coming back? Is the speakeasy coming back?" I'm like, "Give me and here we are. We've been planning it for a few years now, and we're looking forward to bringing it all back with the band and the music and the food and the spirit and the gambling." That's that. So hopefully hopefully everyone approves it, and this will be fun, and I hope everyone comes to do it as well.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions, comments? All right, I will close the public hearing at 5:06.
I make a motion to approve the request of the Seal Cove Auto Museum for a state special event liquor license for its speakeasy fundraiser to be held Saturday, March 28, 2026, from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the museum.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the request for the Seal Cove Auto Museum for a state special event liquor license for a Speakeasy fundraiser to be held on Saturday, March 28, 2026, from 7 to 11 p.m. at the museum. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, and then technically I have to open up another public hearing. We'll open that up at 5:07, and this one is for the Seal Cove Auto Museum Game of Chance license. We've already had a brief on that, so is there any comments? All right, seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 5:08.
I make a motion to approve the request of the Seal Cove Auto Museum for a state game of chance license for blackjack games to be played at their Speakeasy charity fundraiser on March 28, 2026, from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the request of the Seal Cove Auto Museum for a state game of chance license for blackjack games to be played at the Speakeasy charity fundraiser, March 28, 2026, from 7 to 11 p.m. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, you're good to go.
Have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
That would be cool.
I hope you all will join us.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds like fun.
It'll be a good time. We've been looking forward to it for a long time.
Good. Awesome.
I'll leave you the rest of your meeting.
Good luck. All right, next we have approval of minutes. We have the minutes from February 17th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of February 17th, 2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from February 17th, 2026. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I'll abstain, I was absent.
Okay, next we have approval of warrants. We have warrant, what number was the one you were included in there? Just
89.
89, okay. We have warrants, 87 for $2,821.50, 88 for $16,246.33, 89 for $14,787.50, 90 for $38,059.69, and 91 for $26,085.
I make a motion to approve warrants 87, 88, 90, and 91.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve warrants 87, 88, 90, and 91. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I make a motion to approve warrant 89.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve warrant 89. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Abstain.
Eric abstains. All right, regular business. We have the FY27 budget prep for Wharf Harbor and Seal Cove.
Alright, if you look to the Harbor Wharf tab in your binder, all over the changes in there. Harbor Committee reviewed and approved these, at their meeting last Thursday. On the revenue side, there's an increase of 5.9% on the wharf use permit fees. That's based off current year's permit fees. Everything else down through is minimal changes. On the expense side, everything is either just a 2.8% increase over last year, which is the cost of living London, or based off the averages of the prior 3 years. So nothing really too noteworthy. Insurance is up 51% over last year's budget, but only 2.8% over the estimate for the year. gives total expenditures, a total of $34,247 for the year. The fund balance at the end of FY '26, so this June 30th, the fund balance for the war fund is anticipated to be $142,599. That's after we finally received the FEMA public assistance from the Board of Damage back in '24. So your FY '27 is projecting to add $60,000 to that for a fund balance next June 30th of $203,466. You can see in both this and the harbor budget where the change we made 2 or 3 budgets ago, the harbor master salary has started to pay off and do what it was supposed to do and build up those fund balances. On the harbor fund, the only change to revenues really is in the mooring fees. We've decreased that amount. Traditionally, the way it's always been for whatever reason, all of the mooring fees, including the moorings in Seal Cove, have just been receipted to the mooring line harbor fund. And it's been a constant request from the Seal Cove users that all the funds they pay in don't really go to Seal Cove, which in this case is true. The moorings go to the harbor fund. So Seal Cove is routinely low, because it's a small facility. So the harbor master and I looked at it and came up with I think it's 68 moorings in Seal Cove, and we're recommending to direct those mooring fees to the Seal Cove fund and reduce it out of the harbor fund. So that's the reduction in the mooring fees line for the harbor. You'll see the main DOT grant in the revenues, $32,500. That's the ship grant that they're funding half of the ferry terminal float project over there. We are anticipating, with the new information that the town's responsible for all of the concrete work and platform over there, that the project's going to come in a little higher. Once we have the estimate, we will try and find half of it, their share. But I have a couple other sources to check out as well. Moving on the expenditure side, VSC capital improvement is $65,000. That's the ferry terminal project.
Sorry about that.
Everything else, maintenance, repairs, everything's minimal. Increase, down through. We're showing total expenditures of $75,749. That's the brand project. Current harbor fund is supposed to end up at $112,967, and then next year $120,554.
When was the last time you had the insurance re-looked at, compared with other companies or whatever? Because it seems like it's going up $200-300 every year.
Yeah, this
And
is.
we've made improvements and got the old shack off of there, and
So I can try and redo it. This insurance specifically is, it's not the property and casualty, it's the Orfinger insurance for damage to other vessels from our facility. So if our facility was to damage to a vessel,
so if the dock fell over we made improvements, so it shouldn't go up, it should.
I can certainly check. It's a weird, Chris added the insurance the year I started, and it's a weird, it's an odd insurance.
It's worth looking into.
Yeah,
I
I can
know, I
look
just
into it.
did my house and everything, and it chopped it right in half.
Yep.
Just by comparing it with somebody else and then going back to the same company and saying, can you match it?
Yep.
Then they need it, so.
Yeah, no, I can check it, because this one's not, everything else is under Maine Municipal, for all our facilities vehicles.
For
But
some
these
reason, I
two
thought
are-
it was a liability one. I thought
It is,
Chris.
it's a weird.
Yeah, Chris put a liability for like if a lobster truck falls through the dock, because one did, and they had a little bit of a fit, then it would cover us from the damage that was done to their vehicle, so, or their truck.
It's a weird area,
Yeah.
because some of it you would think, well, your regular insurance
Should, yeah.
cover.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we don't cover that, that's this insurance. But yeah, I can look into it.
Thank you.
I think it's a great idea with Seal Cove moving those moorings over, because it gives it some revenue. I mean, I was surprised it was never done that way.
Yeah.
Just because it's, I mean, it's not big, but it's something. It adds up.
You said 68 more is in Seal Cove?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Also 6,800
Yeah, no, I know.
bucks, yeah.
That's
Decent amount.
something.
6,800, yep.
Yeah.
The only thing I was looking at is I thought Tyler said they were gonna try to do a float this year, a new one,
In
or set aside for a float
Seal Cove,
for the, no, for the dog, town dog.
yeah, we're working on a grant.
Oh, okay, so that's why there's nothing included. Okay.
Weren't there more sections that they didn't use, I thought at one point, that aluminum, because that floats on the end,
What's that?
that walkway they've got,
Oh, at Seal Cove.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I meant down at the town dog.
Oh, I thought
he
you were still
needed
talking about
a-
Seal Cove, sorry.
I thought he said he needed a new, two new 20 by 24s or something.
Yeah.
You know, two of the big ones were getting pretty rough shape, so.
We're working on, there's a DOT grant and another grant that they just opened, that we're working on.
Yep. I just want to make sure we included something
Yep.
if he did want that.
Yep. And the grant also includes the work of the wharf that we previously talked about,
Mhm.
blocking.
Yep.
And then the finger floats, putting in a piling system, what's the name of
Yeah, instead of having
Two sets of
chains.
it?
belts.
Instead of-
Yeah.
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 So, we're working on
Yep.
that. Seal Cove Fund revenues, as I mentioned, the big change there is the mooring fees being added. Expenses, you see this year, capital outlay, there was a couple of big projects, the ramp repair, and then the security camera installation, pole, and light, there. And then, nothing really, total expenses, 6,122. There is some additional float work, but we're working on grants for those as well. So you'll see projected fund balance this year after all the expenses is, just 2285, but then next year adding 6,300 back, and then we up to 8655.
Eric, how much was that insurance? I just looked for it, I can't find it on here.
5,700 or something.
57.
So there's two, yeah, there's a
That's actually not bad compared to.
2750 we
Yeah.
charge to Seal Cove,
Yeah.
and 50.
And that covers both sides of Bass Harbor, one by the ferry terminal too. 57.
5783.
Yeah, that's actually, that's a way better deal than what I'm getting on our little dog. That's, yeah, that's not bad.
But other,
We need bigger cups. This is just sad.
Yeah, it's a nice looking cup.
Yeah,
Mm.
so cute.
I couldn't find the adult version.
Yeah.
I motion to tentatively accept the wharf fund budget for the total expenditures of $34,000 $6,247 in FY '27.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to tentatively accept the war fund budget for a total expenditure of $34,247 in the FY '27. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I motion to tentatively accept the harbor fund budget for total expenditures of $75,749 in FY '27.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to tentatively accept the harbor fund budget for total expenditures of $75,749 in FY '27. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I motion to tentatively accept the Seal Cove fund budget for total expenditures of $6,122 in FY '27.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to tentatively accept the Seal Cove fund budget for total expenditures of $6,122 in the FY '27 budget. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. That's step one of our budget stuff. Got a lot of stuff to go through here, Jesse. All right, yeah, now.
Baby steps, right?
Yeah, baby steps. Isn't it every Monday through the whole month?
Yeah.
So- All right, next we have FY '27 budget prep for the fire department. Just, I'll let whoever wants to speak, just a rough thing at first. Looks like that there's gonna be an increase of roughly $10,000 over last year, about a 7% increase.
Yeah, so the second page of the fire department packet. Yep. Is the budget request. You can see this year they put the budgeted amount for last year and the actuals or projected amount for the year. And then the 26 request and the change. So you can pretty easily see, Keith can explain further, but you can pretty easily see which categories are either up or down from last year. Like I said, 10,688 or 7%, 7.1% over last year's request. And then additionally, there's information in there regarding engine replacement questions and pickup truck replacement questions.
Yeah, this format looks a lot nicer for us. It really helps understand
Yeah.
100 times better for sure.
Are yours color coded? Do you have the yellow highlights?
No, I can see where they were. I can see,
Those are
yeah.
just the projected,
Yeah.
those are the ones that we don't know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The other ones are actual finals.
Yep.
Or believe to be finals.
Mm-hmm.
And I have updated when we get to the budget. It includes the 61 request.
It does include that.
It does
Yeah.
include that, yes.
So I think, yeah, this looks a lot better. The only thing I would say to the auditors that will make them 100% happy is just to show if it doesn't get used, where it goes, once it goes into a fund, if you just show that it, we didn't actually use, something, I'll just pull out, training. You didn't use training equipment this year because, it didn't work out. So that $1,200 went into the savings account, and I think that's the last piece of the puzzle to make them happy with this.
Do you have, maybe it's right in front of my face, what's left over, if there's any left over?
Well, right now, we're,
Like from last year, like you asked for this and you spent this?
yeah, last year, I think was
So at the end of last year, we still carried over some money for our tanks and our SCBA's that needed to be replaced. And then we carried over, we invested into the standby generator at Seal Cove. And then we
replacement, is that a?
That's engines.
Engine, oh, yeah.
That's what, it's just we thought that that's how
Yeah,
we should,
and that's,
held in reserve.
okay, so that is what's in there, or that's what you would like to have put
That's
here?
what- that's what we-
I'm understanding now, yep,
In order to get a truck in
Yep.
5 years.
yeah, gotcha.
So, yeah, I requested a few weeks ago that we have a meeting, because we still like to fund the utility truck replacement. And then at some point, we have to figure out whether we are going to buy a truck all at once or start putting money in reserve. We do have to replace engine 6 pretty shortly, but we don't have a building to put it in yet. In 2012, we bought engine 3 and 4 for $500,000. To replace engine 4 with the rest of the truck, right now is close to 600 just by itself. That's how much replaces that.
The new one that we bought during, well, COVID, whatever the heck it was, the one that took 8 years, it was water, whatever it was, that one is, does that one get used a lot? I don't see it much, so, but
Yeah,
is
so
that
that's
a?
our, yeah, it's a forestry tanker.
Yeah.
That's not a Class A engine.
Okay.
It'll get used a lot more when we have it in the primary station.
Yep. Oh, so
The
it's
only
not in
place
the
it'll
front, I
fit
gotcha.
is in seal.
We actually have a few new members from Simcoe, so that truck needs getting run more than.
Oh, good.
much.
Yeah.
Just as a first response.
Just as my opinion on the budgeting for the, I mean, the budget itself looks good, I'm just thinking of, the replacement. If you don't even have a place that you can fit this, this engine 6 replacement, I would think you would wanna put your money first. I understand saving up slowly, but maybe a little slower than that because we need to figure out the fire station. And that's, I got the number back on that and I'm like, holy smokes. So, until we do something with the, with the building, then
Yeah.
you can't really do
Are
much
you
with that.
still hoping for a special town meeting before town meeting
I hope so.
For that number?
for that number?
No.
Yeah.
We think that number's way out of line.
I don't, has everyone on the board seen the information for them?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just-
So, yeah, it's not real fair to talk about it, so everybody's seen it, but.
Yeah.
The preliminary estimates came back at 7.7 with design work coming at 9.5, but just some really quick, simple math says that they're off by about 55 to 60% within their budget, so, they, seriously, they had a 300 kW generator and, 3-phase power ran into a building in 6 days, that doesn't, they had, $400,000 worth of furnishings and things like that, which is unrealistic too, so.
There's a lot that can
Yeah.
be backed out of this. I mean, if we have to do like crap furniture for 5 years and replace it on our own, we'll do that.
Yeah.
There's no reason to spend that kind of money.
I asked Jesse to, did you reach out to them about including them on our
I have
next?
some follow-ups,
Okay.
Renee, tomorrow.
Yeah. To include them on, next week's meeting, to try to iron out, what can happen before in the amount of time that everything needs to happen. Try to figure out a way
Yeah, there's a lot that has to get
out
done
of
in
it,
a
yeah,
short amount
and
of
that's what I
time.
mean, just to try to expedite things a little bit here.
Yeah, we're gonna call another meeting of the committee to look at some of the things where we think we can,
Yeah.
where we can peel money off from it. The parking, the extra parking lot up above,
Yeah.
is one of the things that we can do without for now. We just have to walk from the parking lot over here.
I know, and I know we're getting off course a little bit here
But
now.
that
This is
has
just the
everything to do
budget.
with like the other requests though.
Yeah,
Right,
so-
like that's a lot. Like
No.
I love, well, I don't love anybody's budget, right?
Yeah.
But this budget looks good, so I think we should pass that.
Yeah, and then
go
Yeah.
through the trucks and the station and
Yeah.
whatever.
And I I would like, my gut says, just do what you just said, approve the budget, and then let's talk about the trucks and whatnot after we have this next meeting, because we gotta figure out what, you
That's a
know.
huge ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huge.
that's what the replacement utility part of that same conversation.
Yeah, well, what I think basically, I wanted to get them in to be like, look, we have a deadline, are we gonna make that, how is there a way that we can make it? Is there a way in their eyes that we can dump a ton of money off this, you know, quick?
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah, the committee had got information on two recently built fire stations that are half or
Yeah.
close to our
The
budget.
the one in Clinton is 8 bays,
yeah,
and what, 4 million, so
3.9.
under,
Yeah.
under 4.
yeah, I mean, I could see, I know, just put earmuffs on, Keith, but I can see running those two exterior walls. I mean, if you put those two walls together, then that's gonna save you a pile right there. Like, I know you like it, but it's,
Yeah, I don't see you saving any money. It's two different types of structures by that. But I mean, that's again, that's all pertaining to
Yeah.
the committee.
Yeah.
They're two independent structures.
yeah.
Yeah, if anybody's going by Clinton the next 2 days, just stop in and see them.
You got one,
Yeah.
yeah, the senator paid half the
Town paid $2 million and Senator Collins gave $2 million and it turned into a beautiful project that was
Yeah.
wonderful. That's 30% larger than what we're talking about.
I think I saw what she doled out earlier this year, and I think probably the fall is the time to get it, you know, that, so, yeah.
We can also apply for the grant next year, right? We don't have to do this.
Yeah,
Right, we don't have to do this right now.
it's also an election year for her, just
Yeah,
so you know.
it is good, because the costs aren't going down. Next year it could be.
Yeah, just, yeah.
The other thing too, we're gonna deal with the size of it, as far as with zoning. I mean, that 5,000 square foot limit's definitely gonna be an issue too.
They let the library and school go through, so.
Library didn't go over that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, they worked on it, they posted it on.
Yeah, I know, they dealt with that. Yeah, I mean, you're talking the zoning.
So that's one thing, like,
Yeah,
keeping the buildings,
but-
separate buildings, we could make it 5,000, and stay within the ordinances. Combine them together,
Yeah.
you're 10-6, which flows all possibilities of
Yeah.
planning, zoning.
No, I get it, I'm just thinking if it shaves off, if they tell me it shaves off $300,000, then
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go
Oh,
for
yeah,
that. That's all, cause it's just straight up $300,000, like, you gotta pick, some things you gotta, figure out which battles you wanna fight, I guess, so it's, yeah, and then, I can't imagine the planning board, I mean, yes, it's gonna take a little work, but
Yeah.
I think, under the circumstance. Yeah, so,
I think that size limit ought to probably be changed anyway, personally.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
But,
But with the fire department budget, back to that, the utility truck is an important safety thing we would include.
Yep.
It's not the engine that much, but it's a big, big number. We should have that a few years ago.
So would we start a reserve, Jesse? I know we just did this with the school. How would that work if we
Well, I
start?
just needed to clarify, because on the budget sheet, the utility truck is listed under apparatus reserve.
Well, we didn't.
But I'm assuming you wanted to purchase it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the thought was, the discussion we want to have prior is whether we add it into our budget or the town buys it separate. I mean, I think the idea was that this town owned all of this truck and apparatus. But hey, we just put it in there for a placeholder because we wanted to discuss it as we.
So if you're setting a reserve for it, then you're not getting the truck for 5 years. If they're requesting, they just pay for it, I think 15 plus the risk payment, then you're just adding the 15 to the 161, 252.
Okay.
If you're buying one now, or you're done with it.
Yep.
What's wrong with the other one?
Sorry,
like to,
Why?
because it's 12, 14 years old, and doesn't have all the modern safety features. Yeah, there's lots of reasons. I mean, do we wait till it's 20, 25, 30? I mean, every year we keep it, it's decreasing in value, and the cost of replacement is going up crazy high. So at some point, we gotta figure out when it's appropriate time to replace it.
This is the one with really low mileage on it, right?
It's going up close to 20,000.
Okay.
I know, I just think I would, if you're trying to sell, you know, this new building and stuff, I would just hit the brakes on that if I was you. That's just my own opinion, you know, just for,
This is something we need though.
Yeah.
We have no backup camera, no collision sensors, we have tons of things that are required in this truck to have.
yeah.
And now you've signed it back over to our ownership. So now, you know, it's.
Which you asked for.
Oh, yeah.
You wanted us to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
You guys can buy us the town utility truck.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have, I know, I mean, some of you guys might drive 12-year-old vehicles, I don't personally. This one doesn't have GPS, it doesn't have hotspots, it doesn't have backup cameras, it doesn't have, I mean, it's an old truck, yes, but it has low miles. But also, if anything happens to that truck, it's not under warranty, and right now, we currently maintain all the town's fleet, we maintain 2 buildings and staff it. I mean, I think we pull off quite a bit. I'm not gonna be like Janet Mills and say, you're looking. I think we're pulling off a lot and we're taking a lot of risk. If say next year, engine 4 doesn't have, it has a major amount, then we have a small fund set up at the town to come back and say, our testing and maintenance failed and we need, it's gonna be a lot more money, but we try each year not to come back and say, hey, we really severely underestimated what's gonna cost. This year's budget, we lost 3 garage door openers that stopped working, and we hadn't put in the budget, but we still manipulated stuff around to make it work. So I'm saying, if our utility truck has a failure of some sort, then we have a way to fix it, I guess. But you're right, if you want us to keep.
It's silly little things, like our tires are 12 years old, they're supposed to be 10 years newer on that utility truck, so it's, you know, it doesn't seem like much, but at least we can still sell it and buy equipment, oil, and then down to new truck.
Yeah. So basically, it's kind of 2 separate things, because I was thinking, yeah, I was thinking you were asking for a reserve, which a reserve is a little different as far as, if we put 15,000 a year for the next 5 years, and then that way it's, you know, we can go write a check out and get a truck. Versus we're kind of setting, if we agree to this, then we have to, you know, it's a signing up for a lease is what it is,
Yeah.
for 15,000, which,
Or, yeah, it's at least a home
yeah.
purchase, you own the truck.
Oh, you do own it when
You
you're done,
own it
okay.
at the end for $1, however that commercial lease works.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, that was outlined in a different document somewhere.
And
Oh,
I think Mackenzie did it with that when we got this last house, went through all the process of getting that commercial.
Yep.
It came with a big discount if you bought it through the town.
Mm-hmm.
But in 5 years, that truck's gonna be $100,000, not 70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my 2 cents on this is, I hate turning in a truck with 20,000 miles, but on the other hand, if we kick it down the road next year, the year after, so on, this budget's gonna be a lot higher then when we start adding in that other truck and the fire station. So then I think it would just get kicked down the road too much in a way where it wouldn't ever happen. That's my only concern, is this, I think, before we spend, you know, we have a lot of other expenditures next year, and it might be hurt less to do it this year, 15,000, but it's for 5 years, I get it.
Yeah. I know.
The further down that 5 years we go, the more we're gonna be dumping in over there too, but, yeah, I don't know.
But you're asking your taxpayers in 3 months to cough up however many millions to match with this grant for the fire department.
Then this.
I think that's a pretty big hit right there. I think that's why I don't think it's the best time. I agree with setting aside some money for it, for a purchase. I'm not sure if we should be, I mean, it's a lot.
The other thing we have to think about too, and it's not the fire department's fault by any means, but we're gonna have to do something about the school eventually also.
Yeah,
And
no,
we
I know.
all know
Yeah.
that that's, and again, that's not their problem.
Yeah.
It's our problem.
Yeah. And it's
So
not-
we've gotta find a way to, the school
Yep.
is in need.
Yeah.
The fire station is, I mean, Keith said a while ago that they could stay there for 10 more years if they had to. So we really have to, I don't know, juggle, and I don't know how to.
Yep. I know, and I think that I would rather have the discussion about the fire department building first, safety bill, whatever you want to call it. I'd rather have that discussion first, then make a call, because then we'll know realistically how much we're asking taxpayers to throw. I mean, they literally, I know they're not physically handing it over, but they are, kind of. You're asking them to have Jesse set it aside.
And then a
However
regular
many
town meeting
millions.
is like a month later.
Yeah,
That's
so,
hard to
yeah,
swallow.
so I think,
That's hard.
Yeah, I've got 3 elections within a month this year.
yeah, I know.
Sarah's like, it's hot.
Yeah, because you have to do the school consolidation thing at the June one too. That's just my thing, and it's nothing against anybody or anything, it's just, I think I would rather wait until we have that discussion and see what the number is. Figure out what that's gonna do to our taxes like we do everything else, and then make a call on what we can fit in and what we can't.
That sounds good.
We have time to do that, Jesse?
Yeah, we
We
got
have
the
time
whole month, so.
to get the trucks on another agenda or another.
Yeah, we're gonna have, hopefully, I mentioned it to Jesse a few days ago, to ask them to come in to our next meeting, this next week. So if we do, we can hash out the building and what
Yeah.
kind of money we're talking and what kind of, we have to ask the taxpayers for. And
Yeah.
then we can have the discussion at the same meeting too about this, once we figure out a direction. Or we can always have one after too. We have plenty, we have 4 or 5 meetings in a row here, so.
So pass their 161,000 budget today. We can do that, right?
Yeah, no, I would pass their regular budget and then just discuss the other stuff, depending on what the outcome.
I need you to, when whoever makes the motion, I need you to change the amount. There's 2 amounts in the documents. Jim's gonna check them, so they're not off by much, but if you could do 161,356.
161,356. Okay.
I'll make a motion to tentatively accept the budget request of the Fremont Volunteer Fire Department for $161,356 for the FY '27 budget.
Second. Been moved and seconded to tentatively accept the budget request of the Fremont Volunteer Fire Department for $161,356 for the FY '27 budget. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Now, just for our informational, this is all part of budget, so it is part of the agenda, I guess. What would, say, $2 million, how do you divide that up? Do you divide that by 10 years on a?
I mean, 20 at least.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know how that worked. I just would like to have a rough idea. Jim, was that grant, was it now a quarter or a third that they were? A quarter, okay, yeah. So just say it was, if it was, we'll just say high, of 2 million, if it over.
130
Yeah.
First off, the way Clinton did it, is they said, we'll match it, because they thought, hey, if we say we'll match, then
Yeah.
And then it seemed like they said, we'll put 2 million in, if you put 2 million in. They got it the first year, the first round.
Yeah.
So it came really quick, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm having Jesse do,
Yeah,
the
that's
number
what
of
I'm
2
saying.
million just for.
I think that would be, that would be great, because we talked about percentage wise.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna be
Less than the salary.
Was Clinton built before Orland?
Still being done.
This is just getting finished today, they're putting door locks on today.
From Clinton?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it a smaller building than Orland? Because I think Orland was 4.8.
This is an 8-bedroom, this is
Huh.
water housing, water sewer.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Did you see the company? Did you get the name of the company
Yeah,
who did it?
from
Yeah.
Augusta.
Yeah.
And they actually said, look, Dave, we don't need this, we don't need that, we can save you money. They actually lowered it by $162,000.
Who did they have engineering?
I wanna hear, it was an all over.
Yeah.
They just got their plans, and was on their way to another contract.
Yeah.
And was it a steel building, pre-made steel building, or?
The main structure was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, that's what I expected.
Housing for firefighters and their subcontractor, is the Northern Lights for EMS, so, pretty good system.
That's who you want to jot down the names when you hear who did that. That way you can,
The
you know.
Selectman Ronnie Irving is gonna give all the information to the community.
Nice.
I mean, that's less than half of what you just got quoted, so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite a
That's
difference.
more backside.
Oh, I know, I was starting to weep a little bit when I saw that price, I didn't almost want to go.
Yeah. And I think a lot of stuff too, they're probably figuring, like I haven't seen all of it, but I know before, you guys were talking like cement board siding. Nowadays, that's so expensive, and then installing it, they probably have if you just put metal siding, I know it's not as good, or vinyl, then probably stuff like that will cost, that's hundreds of thousands of savings, you know, each whack, so
Yeah,
you do something here and there, and it. Sorry to put you on the spot, Jesse, I just wanted to.
Well,
a rough.
they'd given me a rough estimate on 1.2, so I was just doing.
130 grand.
Equals.
28.
Orland paid 100% of theirs, they didn't even go for
Yeah.
money.
Was it 4? You said
4 8.
On 2 million, it'd be somewhere around 150, 155 a year.
Okay, so 155 a year. How much does that equal out on a, like we always say, on like a $500,000 house? What, Jesse?
That's it.
Yeah. Well, just so we know that, you know, what we're walking into for next week's meeting, that we know what the numbers roughly are.
Happens the grant may offer more than 50/50, it might be more, so it might bring our costs down. Well, it's like 25 cents.
Yeah, it says 25.75 now, but if you prepared yourself for 2,
Worst case.
and then you made it work from there, then
Yeah. Absolutely. That's worst case.
sorry, Jesse. I haven't got to bug you all week, so I saved up.
It'll be the same in the fire department, but it's
It'd be $80 for a house assessed at 400,000.
400, okay.
And that is annually.
Yep,
That would be the
400,000.
increase that year for that.
Yeah, okay.
$80.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that wasn't monthly, that's all.
No,
Yeah. Okay. All right, I just wanted that note for next. And we get like a bond or a loan or, yeah, a loan.
yeah.
All right, so we're good with the fire department budget. Now we're gonna go on to general budget here, FY 27, a whole ton of budget.
All right. So you have your full budget in the binder. As per the memo, I have not done the intro sheets with the graphs and things. So all change as you adjust the budget, so those will be probably at your next meeting. Once I know what amount I'm going to use the amount of the surplus fund. I have the usual document with the changes of $5,000 or more, up or down, in your packet, which I'll run through. Right now, the municipal budget is set with an increase in property tax of $138,000 to be exact. That was with resetting the use of surplus to zero, as I do each year before this meeting. Last year you used 116, the year before that 195, and the year before that 129.
Did we use the surplus?
Yeah. So, and as a reminder, I think I put it in my memo, you use the surplus with the thought that that's going to come out of the surplus and drop the surplus balance. But each year we continue to add a little bit, so it has not dropped any of those years. The audit, which is in process right now, is projecting an increase of $96,000 to the surplus fund for a balance of $1,387,000.
And I believe our number, just when we were talking to Jim last year, I think, because it's a percentage from our tax base, I think it had to be around high nines, almost $1 million is what they recommended for, that's your safe, that's what you should aim for, so.
Yep.
I think we're just a little high on that.
So, yeah, I did update that part. If I can find it here. They recommend 10 to 12%. So FY 26, 10% would be $785,000 to $942,000.
942,000, you said it's a high one.
Yeah.
And we're at $1,003,000, you said?
Yeah, or 1,387 plus. I mean, I know we shouldn't say this, but plus another 100,000 is what it's heading at, so.
Going over the budget changes list, interest on taxes, estimated to be up around 8,700, just based on prior year averages. Motor vehicle excise tax is showing a large projected increase based on the previous 3 years of 149,653. You'll see the unallocated fund balance is down 116 because I've reset it to zero for the time being. Checking interest, an increase of 97.19, and transfers in from revenue sharing is projected to be up 37,432 based on the year-to-date receipts. On the budget side for expenses, increases at over 5. Several of the positions with the wages discussed and contract renewal, town manager, admin assistant, bookkeeper, town clerk, all went over the 5,000 threshold. Attorney's fees are up about 6,000. HRA reimbursement is up 22,982. Health insurance, based on a rate increase of 9%, is up about 15,000. Social Security, retirement are up based on the wages. Fire department request that you just talked about is up to 10,006. Southwest Harbor Tremont ambulance service, you previously met with them. Their request was 42,000 over last year's. The police department is an increase of 67,863. That number, the 408, may change, may go down. They're still, their board is still working through their final numbers on whether or not they're adding back in an officer that they took out at their earlier budget meetings. This number is the fully staffed 4-officer number, so it may drop to 3.
Are they gonna do a presentation for us at all, or is that just throw us a number and?
I'll see if we can get him to come over and
It
say
doesn't
no.
matter, I
But,
just didn't
yeah.
know.
So 408 is for 4 officers?
4 officers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dispatch is the same. I believe that they charge the fire department around 27,000. Public Works, wage increases for the foreman. Public Works laborers, only note there is that's 2 positions for that increase you're seeing there. EMR solid waste fees, we're calculating down 10,000, then tipping fees down. And then there's a new reserve in the budget to look at setting up a town garage reserve. We've talked about for several years adding a bay toward the tenant structure there. And every time we, as you know, we've previously bid them out, they've been
$10 million.
ridiculous.
I was gonna say, we'll have to stay for 50
So
years.
setting up a reserve,
Yeah.
start looking at what we need to do or not do.
I still remember the look on Kevin's face last time. He said, no, we just wanted a shed roof with a wall. And you're like, yeah, I know, that's what it is.
Isn't that crazy?
It's like $300,000.
Yeah, it's like insane. How much without the goal setting?
Yeah.
So going through, just to highlight, on your budget summary, which is the first page of the reminder, that goes with the departments. So you can see administration increase of 125,697 for 13%, protections 148,160 for 4%. Debt service 0, rec no increase. Public Works 16,830. Donations to third parties was up 1,018, so 118. Solid waste ends up being down 35. Contingency up 469. Reserves, transfers to reserves is up 15,741. Library fund ended up just being a $2,500 increase. That dropped slightly from when you reviewed the library budget. They had $2,000 in there for the appraisal, if you remember that. They ended up doing the appraisal, so it came out of their current budget. It actually only came in at $500, so
Sweet.
we removed the $2,000 from their request. So overall municipal expenditures is at 10.2% at $275,453. You then apply the other revenues, which are up 11.5% for the total of property taxes needed for the municipal budget of 138,890, 9.1%. Below that, you'll see the Tremont School is the 446,610, 9.7%. High school assessment, 78,227, 5.8%. Total for education, 8.8%. County budget is an increase of 24,742, or 6.8%. So you're looking at a overall increase to the mill rate currently at 8.4%, which comes out to the $328 a year for the home assessed employment price. Broken down below that for municipal, school, county. And if you should use the surplus to offset the municipal, that would bring the overall to a 6.6 instead of 8.4.
I'm all in favor of doing that, but should we wait until we go through a few more meetings to,
You can?
yep, until we do, because that way, I mean, that's, to me, that's a no-brainer to do.
Yeah.
Where we anticipate we're gonna put about 100 in, and we're asking to take about 138 out, so, I mean, that's nothing. And that brings it down to a 0 increase on municipal, that's home
Yep.
run.
And then
So,
6.6 for
yep.
the,
I will say, I know I asked about their presentation for the police department.
Yep.
That is more, but I have heard nothing but great things from taxpayers, that how short the call times are and getting there and everything else. And we all looked at the number that Northeast Harbor gave us, or Bar Harbor or whoever, and that was crazy. So I think we're getting a ton of service for what we've got versus what we were getting from Hancock County,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
It's been a good move.
Yeah.
Good job, Jesse.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
To get
What-
employee increases that we had to do this year, to get that all in under that amount of money is, I don't know how you really did that, but.
Is the school, are those numbers kind of final now, or, because
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
I know they wait on some stuff.
Yep.
I was just questioning the increases in salaries just because, but, I mean, I work for a multi-billionaire, and our company, like, employees at 2.5% increase, it's only 25-30% increase. That's scary.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it's comparable wages.
We're not, we're not, I don't know.
It's the same hiring pool, though. That's the problem.
I'm just curious, I'm just asking, I'm not saying, I just thought it seems a little excessive.
Yeah. Jesse provided us with a document, showed what every other town employee was getting on the island. And I think, well, I don't know how much I discussed, but I think that the board feels that you have to be somewhat comparable in order to keep staff. If Southwest Harbor is paying $30,000 more,
Yeah,
then.
I'm just curious why they did it, why they did it in 1 year instead of.
Yeah.
Like the school contract did it over 4 years.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hiring activity going on in the towns around here.
Yeah.
We're pretty content with what we get. It'd be nice to keep it.
That's a good thing.
I think that's a lot of
Yeah.
If we did it all 1 year and we still are able to keep it at $130,000 increase, I'd say we're doing pretty damn good. That's.
Well, I mean, you can't come up with $15 grand for a utility truck, but you get serious savings for new employees.
We're talking about a lot more than that.
Yeah, we're talking about a couple $1 million, Heath, so I just, like I said, we'll discuss it further. It's just, you gotta pick your battles. You're asking for a couple million and then you want more on top. I would just wait, we'll see what the numbers are, see how it affects everybody's taxes, and then move from there.
The 6.6% is going to be somewhere around $200.
They got me 240.
Yeah.
On 400.
And that's on 400. Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Yeah. So maybe a bit more than some of those. Maybe a bit more than 240 some of those.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's,
Yeah,
I mean,
Reasonable.
compared
Yeah, I mean,
to
that's-
everybody else's,
Yeah.
what we're hearing from other towns is,
Yeah.
that's phenomenal, so. Yeah, I don't see anything, the only thing I think we talked about before, maybe you said hold off until we get to this, was trucks. How much do we have in the truck reserve? Just because of, so we put off for the last 5 years buying a big truck, or more than that probably now. We were gonna buy one 5 years ago, we backed out of it. I wanna make sure that we have money in there, so if something does happen to one of those big trucks.
You're around, I mean, you're around 200 change in that regard.
That won't buy one, though, will it?
Realistically, you're probably gonna end up wanting, leasing it, not leasing, but
Yeah.
that's what they call it.
But we have and I'm glad we did another new truck this year to replace that other one, because it seemed like that was if we didn't, you guys would have been caught in a couple of the first few storms, but so we have 2 Dodges and 1 Ford left, correct? Yeah, and that 1 Ford still had somewhat of a clean bill of health, right?
Yeah, it's doing.
Yeah, okay. And then the 2 big ones I know we've done, they were supposed to be condemned 5 years, or whatever it was, and they're doing all
They're
right.
just fine.
Yeah.
I gotta take him in, to George next, when the budget rolls over, so I can get some of the parts and the engines replaced, but other than that, they're on just fine.
Yeah, okay. Do you think, Jesse, we should put just something into that, just to keep,
I have
for the
30.
same reason, I just want
Yeah, I have 30 going in.
to, okay.
Um,
I just don't wanna be in the same position where you're trying to buy a truck, and if we slowly do it and anticipate we're gonna replace it in 5 years.
One thing you can think about too, with your reserves and as you're going into the next meeting is, and thinking of fire stations, I've left the annual transfer of 50,000 into that public safety building reserve. So there's another 50 going in there. So you can just have that in your mind as you're thinking about what you're doing with the building, how you're paying for it.
So we're putting another $50,000 into
Right.
that account this.
Right, so is that what you wanna do?
So that's already figured into this
Yeah.
budget.
Into this number.
Like stuff like that, just telling you, just let it on here now, it won't, yeah.
Track the 400, it's already there.
Yeah, so what's there? What's in it now?
Currently, 271.
271?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you add another 50, it's 326.
Yeah, but if we don't add that 50,
Right.
because if we're gonna take that and if this moves further, then I don't see any point to add that in. It's gonna be
Right.
and that would free up. some
That's the
money.
question, is if
Yep.
you're going down the road of borrowing 1-2 million,
Yeah.
do you keep saving in this? Because this isn't
Yeah.
really gonna.
No, that's the whole
Amount.
point, yeah, to get a down payment or whatever we needed to
Right.
move forward. I mean, really, I guess what I thought in the back of my head is like if you're going for a $2 million loan, you would take 171 that's in there, put it, subtract that off from the amount you borrow and leave 100,000 in there for emergency. We forgot about this or this, something hit the fan during the process, but.
I keep Stacy.
Yeah, but that would at least leave a little cushion in there.
Furniture.
Yeah, yeah. But no, So this includes, I'm just making notes, this includes 50,000
Yep.
that we might not need. And just writing this all down. So it's got it. All my notes for it, so he can keep track. So so we've got enough stuff in there for trucks. Those are all set. Someone asked me the other day, do we have a snow blower attachment for that Bobcat that does sidewalks?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. And the loader, the old loader you've got fixed, so that's,
Yeah, we got a chase shorting issue, it blows a fuse and then the parking brake doesn't disengage, so you can't move it. So we have to chase that wire wherever that wire is frayed or, what's going on with it.
just call Kenny down to God and have him disconnect the parking brake. And then you just put the bucket down. It's supposed to be just with the salt sand shed, just let it go. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's just the parking.
Yeah, it's just a,
Yeah,
part- who uses parking brake anyway?
Well, that's what the buckets are for.
Yeah, exactly. Want to make sure we're not forgetting anything, that's all. Everything in there.
He's got it under control.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. No one, anything else anybody wants to add or subtract or anything? We'll discuss the fire department stuff, and then I know that's kind of separate with a bond issue and everything else, but we'll plug in the rest of that stuff as to what we do with that 50,000 that's supposed to be going in, whether we continue to put that in or not. Is that?
Have you got the fund balances for everything in here? Are those,
Yeah, they're in the bottom. The reserves?
yeah, the reserves,
Yeah,
sorry.
they're in the appendices.
Yeah, I was looking, I didn't see it. That's right.
They're RSV, appendix RSV.
Must be the last page.
And RSV.
Yeah, I was looking through there, I didn't see him, that's what it is. A lot of pages of that.
Yeah. I see one right here. Page REV 7.
So they're each on different pages, and it's not a,
It's 7, Jesse, is where it starts.
there's some there.
Yep.
That's history.
This
There you go, I missed that one.
So this is for this
Page
fiscal
one,
year.
not the last one.
And
Okay.
that's for
Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to see what those balances were, thank you. Could not find that.
And the public safety reserve, the $67,000 expenditure was the work that we've been doing out there.
Yeah, it was 62 for that, and
Yep.
we previously done the survey. for
Yeah,
5.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
The emergency special ed reserve is under us, not under the school.
Yep. And that's the reserve, if you've heard him talk about, if in fact the RSU vote was to pass in June,
Yep.
that reserve balance gets returned to the town to do with
Oh, okay.
it doesn't stay in the school.
There's some incentive. There's a little incentive.
Solar array fund, that brings up that, I try to remember
next year. When does that come due for us to do something with?
Must be,
October of 27.
Is it that far out?
26 or 27.
well, I would guess it'd be this year, but maybe it's next year.
I'll double check.
Okay, and how much was the buyout on that?
186.
186, okay. So I'm just looking at, we have 115.
After your FY 27 budget is 137.
137, okay.
So within $50,000 so.
Yep, okay.
And the price doesn't change.
Now it's a negotiated price.
Right. I mean, it's, if you don't do it then this year,
Oh.
if you wait, like it's the price.
Oh, if you do, so if we didn't do it this year, say it comes due in October this year, we say, oh, we're
Right,
going
so
to do
you go
it
on.
next, okay,
Right.
gotcha.
And once you,
Yeah.
what's that?
But they conduct an appraisal on that equipment?
It's for electricity. I don't know if they appraise it. But I mean, once you buy it, it's paid for.
Company I work for just buy on a huge field and they appraise it severely undervalued when they apply for that. Negotiate that price.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it might be
maybe,
worth,
yeah.
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 The equipment deterioration is faster.
I'd rather sell it to someone else and have them maintain it again and give you a bunch of money for it. You know, like have it, you know, let them deal with headaches, just
That was good about
fork over some money. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's been pretty maintenance-free once they get it sorted out. I don't think they've really had anything since,
Not for a bit.
if they
yeah.
did, it isn't our issue anyway.
No.
That's what I mean. I'd
That's
like
the nice
to-
part.
I'd like to keep it not our issue, so.
I
however
agree with you.
that
I think
works.
you can get, yeah, you can get a maintenance contract anyway.
Yeah, you can get a company to come in
Yeah.
and take it over again for like a 10-year period
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you get a good chunk out of it, I think.
yep. Definitely worth looking at.
Yep.
You mentioned that Pacific Hall Reserve too. Is that something you'd like to do tonight or?
Yeah, it's your next agenda item.
Is it?
Yep.
Maybe, is the
Yeah.
police chief coming to discuss his increases, or
That's what I was asking.
we still got some dispatch issues with him that he won't respond to, so that's.
Yeah.
All three.
We should, usually they do, they come over. If they're still discussing our number though, they probably will wait until we get that and then send him
And I
over.
don't know if you noticed it, but dispatch has gone up 15-point-something% this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in our
Yeah,
budget.
yeah, that's right.
23 something to 27 something, I think it was.
Yeah.
So it's like $4,000 of paying that we're escalating is going directly to that
Yeah,
dispatch, and the quality of it is questionable,
mhm.
really questionable.
Yeah, well, that would be a good thing to talk to him about when he gets here. I would say not this coming week, obviously, probably be the week after at least.
Yeah,
so.
because they're doing theirs the 10th.
Oh, they're doing
There's
this
the
at 10.
Tuesday.
Okay.
Is there?
So the earliest would be our third Monday here in a row.
That ARPA reserves, there's no restrictions on that, right? I think that'll all get released, correct?
Yeah, so, there's about 22,000 that we need to finish up. 33,000, is transferring into this FY 27 budget, and then 22,000 needs to be, spent on some things you've already previously,
Okay.
done. One of them's gonna be on your future agenda item to see if you wanna shift, one of the energy rebate ones, to see if we can shift it to cover some energy improvements that we do for it in town, because they just haven't been used by the residents. Use the funds by the end of the year, so if the program's not being utilized, we need to shift it to something.
So that balance is not, that's pretty well used up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the heating assistance reserve, that's a privately funded one, the town's, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Make sure I knew what it was.
How much have you been using of that?
I think we've only had one this winter. One.
Yeah, okay.
And how much did you have going into it? Because I see it says 3909.
We don't, only if we get donations.
Okay.
That's the one we did prior.
Yeah,
Town
I
just
know.
managing it.
I just wanted to make sure that we kept it just high enough, so
Yeah, I
if
think-
we put $1,000 into it.
Wasn't that part of the stipulation? We, town didn't put money into it.
The town would match donations up to 5,000.
Yeah, but we're not putting money into the fund ourselves.
No,
The
we
town- as a
match-
town.
No, we
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
in as a match, so
Right.
if another, if
Okay,
a business.
it's put in there as a match?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
that's why I couldn't remember how we set that up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if someone
Yeah.
came to us now and said,
Yeah.
we'll put 1,000 in, or we'll put 500 in,
Yeah, that
then
should be
we'll put
1,000,
500 in, and that would help.
Okay.
But I might see if we can do that, just to keep that up around 5,000.
Yeah,
Should we
that'd be good.
send letters from, like, how do we get donations for that?
We
I don't
didn't, it
remember.
was just at a meeting.
It was a guild thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember how we got to where we are now. Okay,
We
okay.
do have.
I do.
We do have one, family in town that sends $100 every Christmas to that fund.
Oh, nice, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Would that take a ton of work for the office staff to, I don't know where we could put it, at the post office and just make up like a little flyer thing that
oh, no,
says.
that's fine.
Maybe even put it like in the newspaper or something, just so if it happened again, I'd like to plan on it, just to keep it up. I think it's a good program.
Doesn't sound like eating well is gonna be any cheaper for a while.
No.
That's good, Jesse.
Look into the rest, just making sure. Road projects, anything for this year?
Nothing definitive yet.
Okay.
If we come up with one,
Yep.
it'll come out of that fund.
Yep.
One question while we're talking about it, on the reserves, you have a Tremont Road sidewalk reserve, which I assume was established when we did that project before I was here.
Yeah, I think so.
So there's a remaining balance in there of about 36,000. I've kind of left it there because people kind of mentioned future sidewalk things. But is that fine, or do you want to ask taxpayers to put it in the general road reserve, or?
I thought we bought the equipment out of it. I thought that was a thing we talked to Chris about back when we bought that Bobcat to do the sidewalks. I thought he was gonna take the money out of that for, because I think part of the grant was that we had to maintain the sidewalks. So that was the equipment to maintain the sidewalks, I thought was gonna come out of that reserve.
I didn't,
Yeah.
I can look
Has there been any of that long? Since Chris, no, I didn't think we'd had it done.
Oh, yeah, those sidewalks were put in.
No, I remember that with the Bobcat itself, I didn't.
Yeah. I think so, wasn't it?
No, it was after, I was
Was it?
here.
No, yeah, Aaron was here.
Oh, yeah, it was here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, I was,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't know. I'll see if I can find out.
Yeah, I would just use it from, I think we can safely use it for the maintenance of the equipment of it, so
Yeah.
that could go into the public works, fund for equipment for that.
How many mailboxes did we lose along the sidewalks this year?
Look at me.
I didn't know if we had
None
to
of
keep
them
some
aware.
reserve there for
Yeah.
mailboxes, you know.
Mailboxes should never be
Nobody's
put in the
called.
sidewalk.
It's supposed to be on the other side of the road, right?
I remember Cooley said last year, he goes, there was one, he said, I looked and I went to pick up that wing and it was just about 2 seconds too late. I haven't seen the
all the designs I've seen for sidewalks set like a foot of like grass or something that the mailbox is in, and then the sidewalk is behind it. I don't know if we can have the room or the
Yeah.
funds to do that, but that's how they should have been installed.
Yeah.
But instead they were installed right in the sidewalk, so.
Put them in 5-gallon buckets, and that way when you hit them, they fall open. And then-
Some of them.
Some are.
Yeah.
Some of
It's
them
not
have
even
been-
handicap accessible with the set mailbox hanging over to the sidewalk. I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't wheel a wheelchair down there without getting hit.
Yeah.
You just could have a set pin and, you know, sacrificial pin there, so get him to spin.
Looks good. If there's nothing else you guys see, then we can move on to the Pacific Hall. So you would like to ask to transfer that $8,000 roughly that's in the,
Yeah, so since you gave, since the town meeting, gave the Pacific Hall back, you had previously set up through town meeting a reserve to fund maintenance and repairs there. So there's $8,026 left in that reserve. Since it was set up by town meeting, we're not allowed to use it for anything other than the Pacific Hall until town meeting authorizes you to do so. So I would suggest putting an article on the warrant to transfer it, and looking to you for where you would like to transfer it to.
Whether we're allowed to transfer it to.
We're gonna ask voters, so whatever they.
Oh, whatever
you ask
we-
them, if they say yeah. So,
I just put it in the general fund because
if you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
then we can take out of that for something else.
Okay.
Is that included in the budget, that 8,000 already is income? No. So it's 8,000 we'll go straight up.
Yeah, if you wanna do that, that's fine. It'll just be a separate warrant.
I make a motion to include an article in the 2027 annual town meeting warrant to transfer the Pacific Hall reserve funds to the general fund.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to include an article in the 2027 town meeting warrant to transfer the Pacific Hall Reserve funds to the general fund. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Next, we have your regional collaboration.
Just a couple updates from League Town meetings. Salt bid, League Town is working on a possible joint salt bid for the region. Currently, most of us participate in the state of Maine salt bid. Works a little differently than like the heating bid. Everybody gets a different price on salt. So the thought and hope is that the contractors will apply to this joint bid with a tonnage price the same for all the towns. The proposal, Bar Harbor kind of drafted the proposal and estimate, so in that estimate, if we received a price similar to Ellsworth, which is the lowest of the league, then it would save about $3,500 on salt. Elected officials workshop, the spring workshop that usually takes place in April has been pushed back right now, sometime in June, and I'll keep you updated as that.
Okay, Jesse. Next, we have town manager's report.
Last couple weeks, I've worked on the FY27 budget, did an MMA Zoom training, met with Noel Busson from over in the town's work, assisting Southwest Harbor with their plumbing while their new CEO is getting certified. Meeting prep, attended the League of Towns meeting and attended a Zoom meeting for the public safety company. Office staff, the clerk was busy with VMV reports, voter updates, dog entries, the Democratic caucus that was held here last Saturday, and the annual report. Public Works, plowed Salmon Town roads, cleared fallen tree on Cape Road, replaced boss seal on trucks 3 and 5, town garage cleanup, pressure wash the case, and moved snow over the school. Harbor master moved snow at the wharf, did dock inspections, ferry terminal project meetings, mooring bills, harbor committee meeting, dealt with submerged lands for a project, private project, and footwork. And over the next few weeks, I'll continue working on updating the budget and warrant preparation for town.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. Next we have date of the next meeting.
I'll make a motion to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, March 9th, 2026 at 5 p.m. at the town office.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, March 9th, 2026, 5 p.m. town office. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
We have meetings every Monday in March.
We're gonna try to put the safety building on next week, if we can. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And your thing, is that coming up again with all of this?
Yes, hopefully, just waiting to hear back from the
Yep.
Yep.
All right, last we have an executive session titled Personnel Matters.
I'll let you do it, I don't want to cough my guts out.
We're
I
gonna
will
be
make
here.
a motion to find, if you're right, find that public discussion of these personnel matters could be reasonably accepted to cause damage to the employee's reputation and or to violate the employee's privacy rights, therefore to go into executive session to discuss the employment, appointment, assignment, duties, promotion, demotion, compensation, evaluation, disciplining, resignation, and or dismissal of the individual or group of public officials, appointees, or employees as permitted by 1 MRSA 4056A.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session titled Personnel Matters as read by Mackenzie. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
No, no. You all right?
No.
Everybody said it.
Marge has been fighting it for a while.
All right, it is 6:49. We're out of executive session.
I make a motion to approve the contract between Jesse Dunbar and the town of Tremont. We need any more specific than that.
You could just say dated,
Dated whatever, today. What's it, March
March
2nd?
2nd, yeah.
2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to enter into an employment agreement between Jesse Dunbar and the town of Tremont, dated 3/2/26. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Watching these two.
Going up this way.
I don't know, Kevin, you sound like you got something, man.
Yeah, it could be.
More than moldy sales, but.
Yeah, she